Right, welcome back to whatever this is. And Ash wants a name for it, and we've already started, but we had to start again because someone said something hot. All right?
Standard. Yeah, I want a name for it.
But
Why do you not want a name for it?
I don't necessarily not want a name for it.
I think some of the names that we said in the chat today were fine, which we're not going to be able to say now.
That's true.
But they was really good names for the show.
They were genuinely good names. They would genuinely mean that we don't get past one episode.
We're just not allowed to say anything. Well, so going off the structure of the show today, what we...
Ash made notes. Do you want to read I think the people would be allowed to have the insight. This is what Match a Day pay for, by the way. On Ash's detailed notes for this podcast.
So throughout the week, I've been making notes, which I don't normally do, but I thought, but let's be more professional about it.
Okay.
So it says podcast at the top.
So that's how you know that we're talking on the podcast.
And underneath I've got United shit, Wolves good.
Right.
And that's as far as I've got. So if you want to talk about that. Because I'm sure you haven't spoke about that at all.
Only about 9 videos.
But not on here, you haven't.
This is true.
So let's get straight into that.
I agree.
Because you like talking about Manchester United a lot. And
don't do that enough.
And actually, I'd like to hear your thoughts on... Oh!
Balls all over the show.
Dropped a bollock.
Literally. That might be out of shot, so they might not have seen that. But
all right. Why are you so bad?
Me personally or United in general?
Well, it's still the same, isn't it? So your first game this season, Old Trafford. I feel like a horrendous performance from you.
I agree.
Or should we give Wolves a bit of credit?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I think there's a pretty good advantage. Not often. You don't get this often. But when you're the new manager and you've been there 4 days and you go into Old Trafford, it's kind of a win-win situation, isn't it? Even when you lose, as we can just see. And what did they do? They went, right, what's our assets? We got a little bit of pace on the counter. And they're actually a way more technical team than Wolves fans give them credit for as well. They've got some good technical players. They went, let's play on the counter, let's block up the channels, and let's just try and hit them on a break. And they did that very effectively.
Why was you so open every time the ball got turned over?
I've
never seen anything like it.
I think he wants to replicate a little bit of what City are doing, but we are not. We're about...
Do you think that? I don't see that in the style.
Really? He's trying to build up in a 3-2.
Yeah.
Which he tried to have Luke Shaw as part of the two. Yeah. And I think Luke Shaw facing the way he's playing, I think there's a lot going on. I think it's a lot different. Like, could you play with your back to goal?
No, it used to be... Well, I did play centre mid a few times, but it was horrendous. It would get bounced straight back because it's just a different animal.
But Martinez can do it, innit? Martinez did it at Ajax. They said Ajax. Martinez did it at Ajax for Ten Hag. Because when he first came, we did a video going, is he coming as a 6? Because we needed a 6. We hadn't signed Casemiro.
And you found him before.
Well, no, because we hijacked this deal really late, didn't we? Because he was going to Arsenal. Do you remember that? He was well going to Arsenal.
Did you not find? Is this not one that you found though?
You can't really claim Lisandro Martinez was a diamond in the rough, can you?
Well, I've claimed a few.
Yeah, fair play.
Haaland,
yeah, he was a diamond in the rough, yeah. Rasmus.
Great name.
So I think if you let Martinez step up, you keep Luke Shaw on the back line at left back, because Martinez was going over to the left hand side constantly, wasn't he? And I don't think he needs to be there. I think you can make it work, and I think that's why he wants Pavard for right back as well. Because then you've got Pavard, Shaw, Varane in your back line. Martinez can be the one stepping up because he has got that line breaking pass in him. He can play a 360 game. And then you've got someone alongside Casemiro. But that's in the build-up. Now, in the build-up, we were bad. But in the transition, we were non-existent.
Yeah, that was the concern, I think. Just how wide open you were. I'm not sure.
Mount and Bruno, but maybe a little bit attacking to play alongside Casemiro.
What's he doing? Every time. It's all right. Someone behind the camera is making noise again. I didn't like the midfield at all.
No.
Some of them weren't right. On the flip side, Wolves looked like they had nothing to lose and they just got like animals.
Yeah. How much has this played into it, right? Because, I mean, we just had Ronaldo sitting where I'm sitting as we framed up. Ronaldo's knackered still. We came back 2 weeks ago and we just watched the games. We weren't training and playing. I had a quick look because I thought, is there something in this? Where did Wolves go for pre-season?
That's what I was going to ask you.
They had one game in Portugal, which is same time zone, against Porto. And then they played the rest of their games at Molineux.
Yeah.
Is that a factor? Because it feels like a cop-out to say it's an excuse.
I think it probably is a little bit of a factor, yeah. I think
it is also a bit of a cop-out, isn't it?
With that, you know what it's like travelling? It's just tiring. And then playing games on top of it. Yeah, it is a bit of a cop-out probably because it should be ready to go, but it doesn't always work like that. And a more settled pre-season, albeit with a different manager, might have worked in their favour because they definitely looked fitter. They definitely looked sharper and faster. And I've never seen Wolves look so dynamic.
No.
It was nuts. And I don't think that
lost some big players.
The manager's come in and gone, let's all run real fast, faster than you used to last season.
Yeah, can you imagine? Because I think every manager did that. Hey, any chance of just running quicker?
Yeah, run real fast and we'll be sweet. But it's mad because they actually carved you open so many times and could easily have been 3 or 4 up. No?
I think that's a little bit giddy. They had chances.
A big guy in goal.
They had chances. But you know what I'm really glad about? I'm glad Onana had a good goalkeeping game. Because I think there's a lot being made about his ability to play, a lot being made about that he's probably going to get caught outside the box and get lobbed, because he will, because he patrols the entire half of the pitch. So it's going to happen. That's a rough with a smooth in a minute. But he had a great goalkeeping game. He probably should have conceded 2 or 3 on average, really.
He had a good game, yeah.
And kept a clean sheet.
From what I've seen of him, he looks like a top
there's a
keeper.
presence
I think
of him,
we both said last week, didn't we? Possibly the signing of the season.
Yeah, so
the league.
A couple of videos ago, we did a Vibe with 5 live show, and they may have cut that because that is an edited video, by the way. That might be more edited than this gets.
Sick of it. It's boring now. Even the audience are sick of this.
There you go.
Edit.
There's the name. Stian Ash, censored.
Yeah, Stian Ash, welcome back. We know it is.
No, but that might be the name. Censored. Instead of uncensored. Censored. Edited.
Well, go for it. I just want a name for it.
Not live.
Bored. People
not live or not.
What's it called? How do I find it then?
It's on 5. Find it.
No, it's going to take ages.
You're right.
Anyway, we went for Onana, possibly the biggest sign of the season.
I think most transformative.
He's like a
one-man sweeper.
Robocop, just in the half.
At 209.
Just like dare you. Go on then. Put it somewhere down here. Watch this.
He's got a pass on him though.
Yeah,
I saw it in pre-season a few times. It didn't quite click. Someone else, Marcus, fucked it up mostly when it was happening. But there's a couple of times where he steps in with it and goes boosh, and it's one. Big diag. Big Sam would have liked it.
He wouldn't, because he's not. What he's doing, he's actually playing it to someone, notched in an area, and hoping that the percentage, if we put it there 10 times.
No, this is on to run onto.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Did he like a run onto one? No,
height.
Oh.
Height, leave it there, and over the course of the game, if you continue to do that,
I wish you could tell everybody the story you told me about Big Sam last week. What a story.
Yeah, no point is actually I'll get cut out. Anyway, back Onana. Thoughts? Because it's a pen in it all day.
No.
Why?
Why is it a pen?
Okay. So
you're telling me as a defender you've never hit someone after the ball has been cleared?
Yeah, and always get the foul for it.
Not having that.
Always. I don't understand how it can not. I don't understand how you can come out, basically slap someone in the face and just take them down wherever the ball. Let's say the ball's off in row Z, and then I just come over to you and just clattered you. What? Okay, cool.
Well, he's gone for the ball and he's missed the ball. But did you not see the one with Spurs and Brentford?
No, you're just reaching for things.
I'm not reaching for things. It was literally the Saturday game. And there was no Talk Sport debate about it. Sky Sports didn't bring Dermot Gallagher to talk about it. Actually, they did bring Dermot Gallagher to talk about it. And he said, not a pen.
And he said Onana's was.
Yeah. But it's the same circumstance.
It is, honestly.
The ball's gone.
I just need you to accept that it was, say to the people now.
Do you know what? I was watching it.
If the people don't hear you say it's a pen.
I was watching it and went, nothing. But the fallout afterwards, where you're like, did something different happen that I missed?
Don't be one of them.
I'm being one of them.
Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them people that are like, because it's Manchester United.
No, I don't mind if you give penalties away. If he'd have smashed someone and I'd been like, good pen that.
He's basically. Do you know what I want to see? What was my moment of the weekend? Please tell me you saw Roy Hodgson having a tear up.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Joel,
I'm gonna have to show you.
I knew Joel wouldn't want us to talk about Crystal Palace, so I didn't bother watching that game.
I did. And I enjoyed the game as well.
By the way, what's happened to your phone?
It's just cracked screen, isn't it?
Are we really doing that in 2023, Ash?
Just what? Well, it happened last night.
Okay, I'll let you off.
It's getting fixed tomorrow. His face.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. He steps in immediately.
That is the best thing of the... Honestly.
He cocks the right hand as well, doesn't he?
I was at work, BBC, and we was watching the games, and that was the best thing I've seen all day. Right after him. I wouldn't mind seeing Hodgson.
When was you doing Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. I wouldn't mind seeing Hodgson v Onana. Hodgson v Onana.
Onana might kill the guy.
Why have you just seen that?
Yeah, he's game, but he's 80.
If you say to Roy, do you fancy it?
You're laughing at?
Do you fancy it? Do you fancy it with Onana?
Oh no, he's having it.
Bang after it.
Listen.
I didn't know Roy had that in his locker.
Listen, for about 6 weeks, about 10 years ago, I tweeted Audley Harrison every day saying, fight me a shit house. Now,
what?
Right, listen. Deadly serious. Now,
why?
Because he's a shitbag.
I don't understand. Did you actually want it? Or was you just being an internet troll?
Probably a bit of both, right? But the point was, I would have got in the ring with him. Now I'm getting murdered in 3.5 to 4 seconds
why are you calling him out?
to prove a point.
Of what? That he can buy you?
But that I'm game and he ain't. He's a shitbag. Now, Roy Hodgson might be cut from the same cloth because I think Roy Hodgson would have it, but he's going to fucking die. That's the point I'm making.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. You know, they're doing all these like...
Onana's got a real fucking presence about him, you know.
A big old unit. But you know, they're doing all these like money fights and everything. I'd pay good money. That's probably one of the only pay-per-views I'd pay to watch.
Me versus Audley Harrison?
Not that one.
Oh, Roy Hodgson versus
I wouldn't
Onana.
want that one just in here or something. But Roy
Here's the thing,
Hodgson
right?
v Onana.
I know with every fibre of my being, I'm going to steam at him and swing. Now, I might miss, and I might get immediately parcelled away.
How have we got it?
I would put, like, come on. Who's the KSI? Hook you up, me versus Audley Harrison.
If anyone's watching it can sort that out, please, wherever, Audley, if this video comes across your phone at some point, please answer him.
No one can misconstrue this. I have under zero illusions that I get my face caved in. But if I'm saying I'm doing it. And that was the point. I can't remember why I thought it was a shit house, but he's a shit house.
See, what was you doing tweeting him?
He did block me about...
Do you think?
I reckon it was a good 30 days of tweeting him every day.
What?
Fight me, you shitbag.
Why persistence like that?
Because, you know,
after
consistency in it.
I don't know why you did the first tweet, but like after 2 tweets, just leave it. Well, you mean Roy Hodgson?
Yeah, maybe. Who would you fight if
Roy Hodgson.
YouTube? You want to fight Roy Hodgson?
Well, if he's up for it, which I know he would be.
Well, he looks up for it, doesn't he?
I seen that the other day.
I don't know if that's a good look for you, though, calling out an 80-year-old man.
What? One that's banged up for it? Like,
Okay, fair
he
play.
tried to fight someone half my age the other day.
That's a good point, well made.
He had his face.
The right hand went. That's a man who's thrown a dig, that, innit? That's not a man that's just a stranger to a pub brawl. Roy Hodgson's in there. The ashtray's going the lot.
That's
Come on,
the
lad.
highlight of the first weekend of the season.
Would I agree on that? Maybe.
Said person behind the camera showed me a picture of Audley Harrison. I just wanted to say, and
What?
he's not.
Yeah, the guy's bodied up to death. Like, he looks like a superhero, and he's a shitbag.
There'd be a better fight, him v Onana, and you v Roy.
I can't believe that's who your celebrity fight is.
No, it wouldn't be. I didn't really think about it. It was just off the back of that. My celebrity fight, I don't know.
Some dick off Hollyoaks or something.
Is that still going?
Probably. That's definitely the sort of ballpark they're in.
I don't watch Hollyoaks. I just watch football, South American.
I don't watch
games
telly.
and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I don't watch TV.
Scouting.
I will watch sports documentaries on Netflix and footy.
Oh, have you scouted anyone lately?
No, we've been sort of focusing on. It looks like United are in for Amrabat. Looks like we're in for Pavard. So we've sort of really focused on that. It doesn't look like there's going to be any random ones.
But don't you just like to go and look at
Yeah, but it's been summer and it's been
under
pre-season.
17 Bolivian players?
Now, here's what
free
happens.
time?
We'll be doing a scout report on someone, and you might go and look at some stats for something, and then you'll notice someone else has got pretty good stats in an area, and then you end up going on a bit of a ride, and then you'll go start watching him, and then you'll come back to it and go, actually, this is actually a good player. That's what happened with Enzo.
Still claiming.
But we've not, absolutely. I mean, let's get on that, by the way, because Todd Boehly has lost his melon.
Oh, we haven't spoke about him, yeah. And that's worth speaking about.
So I think he's decided, I don't really give a fuck about FFP. They'll probably just fine me. And what's the point of that? So he's just gone, I'll just sign everybody.
I know no one understands the FFP, but surely you're breaking it.
I saw something the other day that said they haven't made a profit for 20 years. How the fuck have they lost money for 20 years and are allowed to spend anything? Mate, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh. So they got,
some midfield that's going to be, by the way. Enzo,
Lavia.
Caicedo, Lavia. Looks like it, doesn't it? What a midfielder that is. Now, it's a young midfield.
They still don't get top 4 or nowhere near it this season.
No Europe, though. Only one game a week.
Don't care. Poch is the only hope they've got, that he brings some sort of order to the chaos.
Caicedo and Enzo's. I thought Enzo had a really good game the other day. That's a serious midfield, that. And they've still got shitloads of other players as well. I don't know how they spent $1 billion and still need to spend like another 200 million on a midfield to get a midfield for this weekend.
I just can't see them doing anything this season.
Liverpool could be in trouble. Mo Salah might be going Saudi. By the way, that's happened since we've stopped doing the podcast. Saudi's gone mental.
Oh, well, no, we only spoke about that. And how comes they don't need like a couple of people to do a podcast over there?
Do you know what I mean?
Stian Ash in Saudi, having it off. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go.
Yeah, we would. 1,000,000%.
Other people go.
We've even got the colours behind us are perfect for it as well.
Saudi and that. All right, so I'll tell you what then. So you're an electrician, and they're gonna
£1 million a week to be an electrician.
12 times more. You gonna go? No, I'll stay.
Get me.
Just because I like Manchester.
Make sure you pack the factor 50. Let's go.
Jesus, first plane.
What's mad is, have you seen some of the games? Because the games have started finding their way to social media now.
I haven't seen any. I've not seen one bit of footage from Saudi Arabia.
It's mad, right? Not only are 30% of the players like at best Northern Prem level.
What?
30% of the players.
Right, I understand.
There's a gauge to this. Obviously,
are these the ones that were in Steven Gerrard's video when he was trying to get a bit of action?
These are the ones that definitely play for Robbie Fowler because that second tier, they are.
Right.
On a good day, one of the teams has got someone good enough to play Northern Prem.
Okay.
The rest of them, Paddock's league, let alone Paddock's team. Now, what it's like is, looking at the facilities, it's like someone's given Paddock $1 billion and said, just, you can sign Benzema and that. And that's what's happened. They're rocking up at non-league gaffs.
Do you think it only lasts for a year or two and then...
No, I think this money is... I think this money is...
Do you think they're legit? They're going to be legit for a few years? I
think it very quickly becomes the 5th biggest league. I think Ronaldo was well on the ball with that when he said that. Very quickly becomes... It's not there yet.
If you're saying that a large percentage of the players are dog shit, it's going to take a while.
Is it though, with the amount... But
you can't get that many players in.
$1 billion with a butt. 200 million a year, 5 years. There was offering... Neymar's gone there. He's on more than that. They was offering Mbappe 700 million a year.
Yeah, but that's all well and good. But when you'll never get the ball because his fullback keeps fucking drilling it out of play because he's dog shit.
But they've actually got, some teams have got like 4, 5, 6 players now, and good players, like a bit of an all-stars.
It's weird, isn't it, how it just pops up like that quick?
Because it was like Ronaldo went, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" They obviously sold him the dream, and he was like, "Look, I'll come, but you're going to have to spend like $3 billion in the summer." And they was like, "That it? Okay."
Yeah, that's like when you just go, what, 50 quid? For most people, isn't it? 50 quid to make something really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, done. And then what have they got? They've done what they wanted, which is get the eyes of the world on their league. Now their league's got to level up. But it's a madness because it'll affect the national team. Whether they're asked on that is a different thing. But the national team beat Argentina at the start of the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be sticking around.
Wait till like Saudi, the games are just on one of the channels here. To just follow it every week. Eurosport or something. Pick up the games. Can't
be far. I reckon there must be someone who bought the rights to like the Saudi League last September for probably being real about 50 grand. And he must be sitting there going,
yeah.
He's making a Benzema wage now.
100% someone's got the rights for that before, I reckon.
Yeah. And then absolutely cashed in. Because everyone laughed. We all laughed when Ronaldo went to Saudi. Because like what happened, it was like 38, 40-year-olds, they would go there, they would pick up a wage, they were playing basically a pub league at like 1 mile an hour, But the fact that you've got the current Ballon d'Or winner,
It's mad.
You've got
it's mad.
Neymar. Neymar could have gone probably not loads of places because no one would have afforded his wages, but Neymar can still play.
There's a lot of them gone now.
Neves.
Yeah, that's like
Once they start signing players in their mid-20s,
and
that are good.
yeah.
Not like, oh yeah, it was a bit shit him. No, Neves was
They
good.
haven't just gone and got they haven't just plucked out. Well, they have, but not only have they just done that, they've also got some.
They've changed the football landscape. If roll it back 20 years now, so you're 28-year-old Ash, you've got 12 months left on your deal. You're learning Arabic. You're definitely learning. You're just going. You're getting on the blower at Jamie and going.
28.
Have you had any meetings?
28. I'm not.
Not really. I don't know. I think with some of the cheddar getting flung about,
No,
you
I
might
understand it's a lot of money. I just feel like at 28, I was still enjoying this league and wanted to.
You'd have had the meeting though.
Do things. I had a couple of them meetings anyway.
Did you? Well,
Yeah, towards.
Oh, but you're retired now. Let's.
Qatar.
America. Qatar. All right.
America, yeah. But chose not to. I thought, what would I want to be doing? Being in Qatar, earning loads of wong in the sun, or just being in here with you now. It's nice that you got the aircon sorted this season anyway. Steve Nash in a sauna. two fellas in a sauna.
Sweating the bollocks off.
Jesus Christ. Open a window, man.
Oh, by the way, last week, I was talking about, people proper big up pre-season performances, don't they? And obviously Joel's buzzing about winning a pre-season cup. So obviously over-egged the shit out of it. And I was like, I remember United under Louis van Gaal absolutely popping Real Madrid with 1 and 2 touch football. We beat Barcelona with like fucking Lingard and McTominay and Donald Love or something. And then we lost on the opening day at Swansea. And then I hear from the back of the room, yeah, you did.
I played in that.
I was like, oh shit, yeah, you did.
No, it's an interesting one because I can remember. Do you remember that year when we won? First game of the season we beat QPR like 5-0 or something. It's when Michu announced himself. Do you remember it?
Michu became the fantasy football player.
Yeah, and he was just scoring every week. I think.
Did he get dinner with 20?
Yeah, I think so. But we started off on a mad run.
What happened with him?
He hurt his ankle, and they just. I don't think he was the same. Yeah.
Wow. An ankle's a rough one to recover from.
Yeah,
actually,
he had a bad. It was bad. I can't remember the actual details.
Was he that good in training? Did you know straight away, like, oh, this has a problem? Or
no, so this is a story. So it was mad. So that pre-season was the worst. I think we lost every single game. Someone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but it felt like that or whatever. And we lost to Blackpool, who I think were in the Championship. And I remember a big internal meeting.
Wasn't an Ian Holloway Blackpool, was it?
I can't remember. Could have been. But we had like an internal meeting on like the Wednesday before the season starts on the Saturday. The chairman was there and everyone.
Fuming.
And we was going, this is like, I was captain going, this is the worst shape we've ever been in. Like, what we're going to do. But
so you felt like the results mattered? Was you not thinking, well we're getting smashed in pre-season?
And the performance. Everything was just a shambles. It was shit. We were dog shit.
So it wasn't like...
Panic stations.
You made 11 changes in the game and you lost.
But we brought a lot of players in, like Michu and stuff. And so, but they looked good.
You said it was a bit of a click at the time as well?
No, not then. That came later. But we brought in Michu and he's like come with his Havaiana flip-flops and backpack. And we're like, who's this fella? And then we get on the pitch and we're like, oh, he's really good.
In training day one?
Yeah, really good. You can tell he's good. But you don't ever know if that's you've seen it a million times.
You do get the odd Tuesday night.
Spanish lad comes over, great in the week, and then comes to the weekend.
Someone sticks one on him.
Does fuck all. Anyway, he was the complete opposite. But so we had that pre-season, panic stations, panic meetings, and then we go, and then I think we won like 7 in a row, the first 7 or something mad. Do you know, like, so it's just how it goes.
There's always one team that does that, isn't there?
It's just this is the way it goes. And then you've been in other ones where you think that you're in good shape and then the season comes, probably a bit like you guys, get absolutely dominated by Wolves, first game of the season.
See, United's pre-season, because I watched every game and I was there for every game, I was happy with a lot of the aspects. Like, so you go into some pre-season games where you know, today we're going to focus on X. I did it with Paddock this year. We played a team that was 5 leagues higher than us, obviously better than us, on a tiny pitch, which is where we train. And I said, lads, I want you to play through this. So I know they're going to press us, and I know this is going to be hard, I want us to play through. We got beat 5-0. Why did we get beat 5-0? Because we didn't play through the first line. But we were working on that. The next game, we won. So I know sometimes you go in pre-season with a focus on, we want to do this, or we would like to build up like this, or maybe we only want to transition like this. No, there's a focus sometimes, isn't there? Or am I wrong? Like, do you go into a game with a focus like that?
No, not that much, I don't think.
Really?
But it depends what team you... Like, Swansea, we just played the same all the time.
Right.
So it was going to be...
Do you not do behind the closed doors games where you maybe try and just drill one thing?
Well, we were just going to try and pop the shit out of everyone, regardless. But that would be all well and good until you play like Betis, and you're not popping them. We'll pop them for a bit, but they'll pop us as well.
That's my whole thing about how I think Burnley are going to struggle this year, because they did that to the Championship, and all I can hear it. I can just see it in yellow and green lights. Daniel Farke's Norwich.
You keep saying that. This is about the fourth time you mentioned it to me.
It's because I believe it.
Why are they connected? I don't understand. It's two different teams completely.
Yeah, but they played really nice football in the Championship, popped everyone, pissed it, like Burnley did. And then I think when you come to the Premier League, you've got teams that go, oh yeah, we can do that as well, and better than you.
Yeah, they can now. They can now.
And then it's do you stick to your principle, lose 9-0 one weekend, or do you try and mix it up and try and go a little bit more robust and direct, and then that's not what got you to the dance?
No, I think you guys have a set of bollocks to stick with it.
Because you lot did, didn't
I think
you?
Vinny will. Yeah, but it was different. I was thinking about this the other day. I think the difference was not a lot of teams were doing that back then. So we'd still have the surprise factor a little bit. Everyone was going, oh, I can't be asked. This is Swansea.
We'll roll them over.
For 5 hours, whatever. They play nice. And then we was legitimately good at it. And we beat big teams. So we beat teams and we was fine. But now that doesn't happen, does it? Because there's 75 analysts in every team. So Burnley were never going to catch Man City on that first day. Like they're doing their research on what's to come and they're ready for it. And I don't think anyone's underestimating anyone, apart from Manchester United underestimate Wolves, but I don't think anyone else is underestimating anyone.
That's a factor, is how do you analyse what's coming when the manager's been there 4 days and he hasn't played a game?
Didn't know he was going to run as fast. If Eric had come out and said that, I'd have loved it. Who knew? Who would have known that they're really fast all of a sudden?
I reckon he told them to run fast. Didn't see that coming.
They've been doing sprint training all week and they're fast as fuck. Why was they so much faster than Manchester United? It's fucking insane.
Casemiro's looked like a chubby little hamster all the way through pre-season. He looked like he went and got banged into the all-you-can-eat Brazilian and just... He was like, running.
He needs Fred next to him.
Of course you do need... Why
would you get rid of Fred?
I think you're going to get Amrabat. I think we get Amrabat, and I think he does a bit of his running for
I just think you don't need to get rid of Fred. I don't understand that the whole thing. Since Fred signed, there's just been a lot of noise about Fred. I don't know. You're in there, but it's like there's just noise. Everyone hates him, and then everyone loved him, and then everyone hated him again. And
everyone loved him because you bring him in for like City game, and
just leave him alone, man.
Yeah, he never came off the pitch with a dry shirt. Like he was a grafter.
All right, man. He was decent.
But you try and ask him, you can't play out with him. Like he's been picking the ball up on the edge of the box.
But so what?
I trust myself more than I trust Fred in the D, collecting it off the keeper or something, especially when it's De Gea. And he delayed that pass far too long.
Yeah.
And he thought about it, didn't do it, and thought about it again, then played it.
And you've got Big Ace as well, rolling it into him.
Did you... I'm trying so hard to stay.
Let's not talk about that for this week's show.
Can I just mention what I put in the chat last night, though?
Okay.
Harry Maguire is waiting for Real Madrid to ring him because Militao is injured.
It's not a real thing. I didn't even comment back on it because you got nothing back.
Yeah, I got pied. Absolutely custard pied.
Can we talk about?
I was sitting there like that.
Can we talk about? Because he's the biggest Arsenal fan that I know. Our mate Joel. How underwhelmed he is at the minute. What's up with him? He's saying nothing about Arsenal right now. He's not backing them. When we did the live event last week, didn't back them.
He was a little bit giddy on Monday.
Was he? Obviously, I watch all of the shows. I'm just getting round to it. Been watching all the other shows from the channel this week. So I'll get to your guys soon, like this evening. Like the rest of you, you're waiting for our show.
Yeah, he's not
What's up with him? Should call him.
He's not fully deluded
Call him, see if
yet.
he's all right.
He's not gone full turbo yet.
But what's up? Because when Arsenal, even weirder.
There were Arsenal fans saying they're going to win the Champions League
Okay.
after fluking the Charity Shield, which Pep never wins.
Because what makes me nervous is like when Arsenal fans are fucking losing the shit about everything, or they're like they've won everything, or they've lost everything. There's a lot going on over there today. When they're gonna do the most, that's when I feel
Fine.
like the world's
Just balance going on.
Yeah, it's normal, back to normal. And when they go quiet, I'm like, what's happening?
It was funny because they started the game against Forest, didn't they? Mega. I was getting my alerts on my live score app. And I was like, fuck. I can't be arsed with him on Monday when they've started this well. And then there's a little bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little bit of a wobble.
They'll be sweet and they'll be better than you this season.
No.
Putting that out there. No, but honestly,
I would not judge United off that game.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm saying they're going to be better than you and they're going to finish higher than you. And I think that Manchester United will be good, but that Arsenal are just in a better position.
I think United finished second and Arsenal finished third, and United are a long second off City. I just want us to be there in case they totally toss it off.
Do you know what I like? I think we touched on this last season, but as an ex-player and as someone that doesn't really support anyone, to see to be around people like yourself that are just so into it, like just so into one club. It's mad to me because it's just like you're saying you're going to finish above Arsenal. You don't get that with some of the
places you played though.
You're going to finish above Arsenal. That's a mad statement.
No, it's not though.
It is. Like
I can talk you through the logic of it.
It's not a penalty. It's mad statements just because you like the team. Like you can't see it.
I think I'm pretty balanced.
No, I do think you are. You're not as bad as some, but even then, that's what I'm saying. Like this is what's mad. Like I wouldn't say you're the most irrational fan that I've ever met. I just find it crazy how
right. Do you know what?
You can like a team and then all your sense goes out the window.
I'll walk you through the logic, right?
We ain't got long enough.
Because if I was going to say we're going to finish above City, that's a ludicrous statement. I've got no evidence to base that on. Here's the evidence I'm going to base it on. United basically tossed off the first 2 games of last season. Agree or disagree?
Okay, can't remember them. Let's go.
We got twatted off Brentford and Brighton, didn't we?
Okay.
So we basically tossed off those. Ten Hag got his nap around it, and then we went on a really good run.
Maybe he does that. Maybe he's just sharking teams at the start. Maybe that's one of his things that he does.
Maybe.
He just goes, well, look how bad we are, look how bad we are.
Kapow!
Yeah. Onana in your face.
We also had a game every 3 days because we went so far in each competition on a very, very thin squad. I think he's had a little bit of depth. So I think that should be a little bit more alleviated this season. And Arsenal completely phoned in. They bailed out of every competition at the first opportunity, basically.
So you're just saying you got bigger bollocks?
No, I think Arsenal are going to be required to actually bother their arse in the Champions League more than they did in any of the competitions last season. Like they played Vieira. Vieira didn't play a minute, I don't think, in the league, but he started every game in Europa League. They're not going to be able to do that in the Champions League. So they're going to be requiring more from their players. And I think that means you see them tire a little bit more.
Possibly. It's not a bad theory. At least you have a theory.
There's logic behind it.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be required to actually turn up in more than the Premier League.
You've thought about it.
Yeah.
You're not just making wild statements.
And we weren't a million miles off them last year. It was that they led early and led for so long, whereas United, by the end especially, it felt like a bit of a grind because we just had no players, didn't we?
So that's where Ten Hag's learnt from last season.
He
sharped it, the league, but he still picked up the points. Do you know, because he thought, I can't leave it too long.
And so did Liverpool, to be fair. I think people go, how bad were Liverpool last year? Go look how they finished.
No, but how they finished was mad. But they haven't started. I didn't see that against Chelsea. Start of the game maybe, but...
I don't know, because I think maybe people are underestimating Chelsea. The team looks mad, but I think there's talent in there.
It's probably going to be one of them where Chelsea... I don't think they'll do anything, but they'll do something similar to Liverpool where they'll get stronger as the season. Like, as it goes on,
especially
back
with
end
Europe
of the season...
He's got all week on a training ground with the money.
Poch will settle it down and he'll get the right...
So you've done this. You've done it when you've been in the Premier League and you've had just Monday to Saturday to Saturday,
or whatever, yeah.
And you've had all week to get on a training ground and work. And in that sense, I'm assuming you do shape, patterns of play, and you get a little bit of a learning going on with your style of play. When you've played in Europe, because you've done that as well, that's just recovery, set plays for this weekend, crack on.
So you got, but some certain players like different things. For me, I liked both of them, but because I didn't particularly I preferred the games than training. I didn't mind the championship or...
Your role also doesn't really change.
Yeah, so it's not that different, but or the Europa, but it makes a massive difference. Because if you think you're playing like Ruben Kazan on Thursday night and then you're playing whoever...
And the sleep.
On Sunday.
You don't sleep properly, do you, after a game?
Not. So it just... And you've got no time. So Friday's gone.
So talk me through a week, right? So when you're in Europa... You're playing on Sundays, and that can have a weird effect on your family life as well, isn't it? So rather than playing on a Saturday...
So Sunday games, you'd rather play on Saturday. That's just that. But you play Sunday. Then Monday, you're not going to be off Monday. You might be, if the manager's super chilled, you might be off, but you're not going to be. You're going to be in for cool down.
So talk me through what, because we hear that, but surely that's a little bit of video as well. So you go in, you got to do, what, a bit of bike, bit of gym?
Depends. You're going to go on the bike, you're going to foam roll, massage, recovery boots, swim if that's facilities available.
Team meeting analysis that happen?
Possibly, or it might be the next day in the morning. So now we're on Tuesday morning, so you've got...
Yeah, give me the detail. Give me walk me through.
Well, go home and I'll relax, sit on the sofa then Monday. Eat. And come back to the sofa, Netflix, go sleep, wake up.
UFO docs.
Well, 100% UFO documentary, 1,000,000%. Why did I get bored the other day and go to UFO? Who was playing? Manchester United. No, who wasn't? Who was it?
It was United.
Was it? I switched it off. Was it? So then Tuesday you'll come in and it will be definitely video.
First thing.
Of probably revisiting Sunday.
Here's 2 mistakes from Sunday.
Yeah.
And here's why you need to be watching out for Thursday, because they do this.
Yeah. Second half, the meeting is Ruben Kazan, what they do, whatever.
Georgie Kinclads is there, really?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Bayern.
Travel.
Wednesday, travel. So
do you come in the morning and train, yeah?
Quick session, straight to the airport, go back.
What's that session? Is that just a leg loosener?
Yeah. So
what, like 9v9 or something?
Whatever, it'd be like a 5v5 or just something real sharp and some mobility work, whatever. So you haven't really got anything in, really, in terms of actual training.
How we play.
On the field. You haven't really got a lot in. Then you go, or you might fly and train there if that is available.
Yeah, you do one on the opposition pitch, that's usually the room a minute.
So then you play...
But that's not a real session either, is it?
No, because you've just come off the plane.
And they're going to have a lot of people watching you in the fucking stadium.
Yeah. So if there's anything you want to talk about or do on the field, they're going to try and do it before you get into their back garden. But then you play the game, and then it's either a decision made that you fly back that night, which isn't nice.
But that's the game usually, isn't it?
Yeah. So you either fly back that night, or you get back to your hotel and then go sleep, fly back in the morning. And then you're on the same schedule again, so then you've got a 1 day probably. So if you come back Friday, you're in Saturday.
See you tomorrow.
You got to try, and then you're preparing for a Premier League game. Whereas the other week looks like play Saturday, probably in Sunday for the cool down, off Monday or Sunday, Monday, depends on the manager. Then you've got like Tuesday to revisit the last game, get all your work done on that.
So give me the detail on that one. So Tuesday, you just played...
Man, you beat them like that,
Yeah, but maybe you got caught. Was it 4-1 that game?
I can't remember.
But you've conceded one, so what we're doing, we're going to work on actually...
Well, it doesn't always mean that you're going to go over the negative either.
We're going to reinforce some of
it. It might be like, this is what we showed you last week, and this is why it worked, and it's similar this week coming.
Go out and do the same drills.
Something like that. But you'd get on the field Tuesday.
Is that a 2-day then? 2-day session or 2-session day?
1 day is off. 1 day is a cool down. Like over the course of Sunday, Monday. So you're not really out on the field at all. But the lads that didn't play will be out on the field on one of the days when you're cooling down if you've started. Then Tuesday is like, the fact that he's yawning
I know.
means that we're absolutely fucking boring again.
Don't care. There's about 6 people that are really with us.
All right, stick with it. Where am I? Tuesday, last game. Wednesday's going to be quite a hard day.
We're talking a double session day?
No, just one long, wider spaces, a lot more running in the tank, in the legs. And then Thursday, sharpen it up with definitely working on the opposition for Saturday. Friday will be touch on the opposition, something nice and sharp. So
Finishing or something.
The week just works so much better when it's just Saturday to Saturday.
Yeah, and I think you see a big drop-off of Premier League performance when it's always a new team that gets Europa League, and I wonder how much that plays into it. Is that they're not
I think it's hard, and if you haven't got... It's all right having a big squad, but if you don't have like an equally as good squad...
Which you won't, because you've only just got into Europa, so you're
that's
not
what
that
I mean.
good.
So it's like, unless you're changing it for... Or you sack off.
Yeah, and you play Vieira, and you don't bother your arse even trying. And
Or
maybe
that.
you get to lead the Premier League for 93% of the season and still not win it.
But I still think you'll finish below them. Relegation candidates.
Burnley. They'll edge it though. They'll scrape going down. Like they're not going to be like rock bottom.
Just a question quickly to clarify it. Has it got anything to do with the manager
No,
or
I like
the
him.
fact that it's in the area?
I know, I told you this.
Is
I
it the
like
fact that it's in
Vincent
the
Kompany.
area? Because you're really against them as well. You don't like Burnley. If it just magically appears back to us, he said some wild shit. So you don't like them?
No.
So but you just
I don't like
admitted
Burnley.
it.
I don't like Burnley as a place.
A shock horror.
But
Do you like Vinny?
I do.
Top man.
I heard about, and we met him as well, and we had him on a pod, and he was good.
Okay.
I heard about 5 or 6 years ago that he led the analysis sessions at City. Like
As a player.
As a captain, yeah. And I was like, I like that. Probably be a good manager. And then it didn't start great for him, did it, when he went to Anderlecht? But yeah, he's done magic things at Burnley last year. Really good. And there's been some behind the scenes stuff come out. I like it. I like what he stands for and that.
Don't like the place.
Yeah, I don't like the place, but I liked him as a player. He was a great player.
Good, very good.
He must have been one of those centre halves that you go.
Top. That's what annoys me today is like sometimes people get giddy over someone that's played 3 good games, and you go, oh, fuck off. Where's the companies of the world now? Do you know where I'm coming from?
If Company was playing now, they would call him the greatest of all time because the competition just is not there.
Like, especially at that position. Who else are you going for then?
For
I'd
what?
say who's plotted up right on the corner of fucking Relegation Lane and
Luton.
fucking dog shit fucking
Their
Central.
best signing is Ross Barkley. They're
Strugsville,
fucked.
Tennessee. They are living right in Strugsville, Tennessee. Kennelsworth Road. See ya. Sheffield United, watch them. See ya.
I
See
mean,
ya.
Sheffield United are shit, but I don't know. There's something about them that I think they know their shit,
Doesn't help them.
but I
Doesn't
think
help them
because
get
they know their shit, they're not
See
going to be
ya.
under any illusion. I think they just sneak it staying up.
It's them two plus a different one. I don't think it might not be Burnley. Burnley, like if you're going to back one of them, it's going to be them.
Should be. But because I think they'll have to change to a style that they're not used to, whereas Sheffield United know they're just going to get everyone behind the ball and see what
They was
happens.
poor against Palace. They made Palace look like fucking prime Barca. I'm not even joking. Palace played well, but it was like, are Palace really this good? Or
Roy
just
did that at the back
fucking
end of last
go
season
through the lines
when he
like
came back as
fucking-
well. It was like, how did they look so
I'm more
fucking
Lowe
good?
than Roy. He's fucking up, ready for a tear up.
He's been a manager,
And
by
he's
the way,
popping
since
people.
1977.
Is that actually correct?
Yeah.
Correct. So
That's
longer
how
than
long-
I've been on the planet.
Yep.
Not you.
I'm like 9 months older than you.
Are you really? Yeah. Fuck me. Look at that.
We'd have been in the same year at school, I think. Is the cut off August 31st? Is that what it is? August?
Yeah, because I'm a few days off it.
So we'd have been in the same year at school.
It's my birthday on the 23rd of August.
Are we in
Get me
here?
a present.
Are we in here?
Is it Thursday? Is it a Thursday? Fuck, am I coming in here?
When's 23rd of August?
Fuck, am I coming in here on my birthday? I can tell you that. You gonna get me something?
Yeah.
What are you gonna get me?
A cake made with non-vegan products.
Wait. It's Wednesday.
So Wednesday, you're in the day after.
I want something different than that.
All right,
I
cool.
want something that means that you thought about.
I'll get you a cauliflower then.
You haven't thought about it.
No, there's something I wanted to say.
You haven't thought about it though.
All right,
But
okay.
it's shit, and I'd get you something really nice.
It's my 40th in December.
See that? How can we be the same school year and you're 40?
This year. Well, by how though? That's how it works.
Should we do some predictions?
No, let's talk about what you got up to over the summer.
Oh, I don't want to. Nothing.
All right, cool.
Went Africa. How about that?
Was it good?
Yeah, brilliant. Safari. Loved it. Really good. Saw lots of animals. Loads of cool shit.
What surprised you?
Nothing. 'Cause I've been there before and done it before. So I saw a leopard though.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first time. Didn't get to manage a leopard. It was fucking good, mate. It was a good holiday. We should film this from like Knowsley Safari Park.
I've been so up for going on the road with this. We did it once. It was really good. And then they've not let us out again.
Well, bollocks. Fuck them. What about we just go ourselves? In the comments, drop it this time and we will fucking do it.
Have we done a pod since Wembley? I don't think we have.
Nah. Stockport.
Wrap us up your thoughts on Stockport season, because obviously they got to the playoffs.
Last year was good. It was one kick, weren't it, really? But this season, although the squad looks so much better, yeah, stronger. We're just not started that well. But you know, it's a long season. We'll see. We lost 2 and drawn 1. It's not been a great start.
Did have a good pre-season though.
Yeah, I went to one game, Preston, beat them. There you go. Game before the season starts, Stockport looked great, beat Preston. Preston looked fucking all over the gaff. I'm sure they've won every game in the Championship. Stockport ain't got a win yet. It's just fucking nuts how pre-season works.
Madness.
How was your summer? Small time.
Yeah, busy. Proper. Proper double mega busy.
All right.
To the point where I don't want to see...
Feed us the stories through the season, because we'll definitely run out of shit to talk about. More football this year, less UFOs, less about fucking Glazers Barnet. Yeah.
Not here for it.
What do you want to talk about then? What do you want to talk about? Dave Grush?
Who?
Don't know who he is, do you? See? Research it.
Who's he?
Bet they do. Bet they know who he is. Dave Grush. If you don't know who Dave Grush is right now, in August 2023, you're fucking miles off it, pal. It's alright knowing the fucking Chilean centre midfielder that's fucking under 21s. You don't know Dave Grush?
Who's Dave Grush? Why do I feel like... Is this alien related?
Yeah, could be. Might be.
This is a weird conspiracy relation?
Might be.
By the way...
Might not be.
American Congress, like a couple of weeks ago, decided to just start talking about aliens. Yeah. And I think they've been trying to do this. Was he one of the guys?
Yeah.
They've been trying to talk about aliens for about 3 years, and no one's having it. Why aren't they like the BBC just losing their napper over it?
I think that I don't know, the mainstream.
Can you not go to a different floor when you're in there for match of the day and be like, hang on, can I just fuck this news off, right?
Stop it.
Why aren't we talking about the aliens?
Yeah, like they're just talking about, I don't know, something so trivial in there.
Yeah. Buses are now three minutes late on average. What? Shut up. They're talking about aliens.
I mean, I'm happy to do this every week. We can do after show footy and after show aliens.
I think there's a lot to talk about.
I don't think they want it though.
I don't think they get a choice. Who said this was a democracy? You tune in and get whatever we decide you're getting.
I feel like he's showing you a picture. Look, who's that? Dave Grush.
Was he the pilot?
No, that's David Fravor. Oh, look. It's a Tic Tac. No, it's not. It's the gimbal. It's a gimbal. Have you seen that video?
I think I've seen that one.
You would have seen
it. But there's so many now. It's not like there's one video.
The thing is, what I don't understand is, whether you think it's true or not, or whatever, surely you're interested in it. Must be. It's the biggest story ever.
It's the most amazing thing ever.
Even if it's just a load of shit, which it might be. Just loads of waffle.
The way that they've changed...
You've got to have a look at it.
The name of them, and it's like off-earth craft and then non-biologicals and things like that, and you're like...
Non-world... whatever.
Like, they've got actual classifications, and you're like, right, so you know about this shit, and like, we've known about this shit for like 90 years.
I just don't understand, though, how, like, it's... I'll go onto the news app, and it tells me something that, like... It gives a fuck. Do you know that they're possibly, I'm not saying definitely, because I've got no fucking idea, I've never seen one, there's possibly aliens on the Earth now. Just imagine that. And you give a fuck about fucking, I don't know, Love Island or something.
Turn it in. Like, I get the thing where people go, hang on, if there's beings that can travel light years to come and visit the planet, they're not stupid enough to like fuck up and crash. Yeah, and you're like, have you ever met any people ever? Like, we build motorways where people can go hundreds of miles an hour. People still crash on our motorways. Like, if you stood on one part of the motorway, you might never see a car stop.
I'm with you.
But then occasionally someone's going to crash or break down.
Can I just make this clear? Because this is the thing I've never understood, right? I'm not saying it's this or that.
That's what the Metro are going to say.
100%. So, like, I just need to clear up.
I'll write a headline for you. Former Wales captain Ash Williams loses his napper talking about aliens.
Exactly. But I'm not saying that. So bollocks to the fucking whoever writes that. Yeah. Fuck me, I got matches there on the weekend. That's getting cancelled, isn't it?
Your Saturday nights are about to get really free.
But why would you not entertain the thought of it in your head?
It's so interesting. Just show me the info. Like, is it scary? Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
Are we going to be able to do anything about it though? No, not really.
Do you know when we mentioned it before, there was so many comments, people saying, I fucking live here near Area 51. Well, did you see it?
I think with Area 51, there is most likely it's like military testing stuff, right? I think. I don't necessarily think it means aliens. But that doesn't mean that aliens aren't a real thing. Yeah.
Did you enjoy this?
That makes you, yeah, but that makes
you, just wobbled you a bit.
It makes you go, why is he still alive? Why have they not killed him? Because he's said some shit that you would assume they'd want to fucking shut you up about.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good documentary though.
I've just got his audiobook actually.
Have you really?
Not started it yet.
So you're fucking bollock
Man, I've always,
now. You're bollock deep in the UFO
I've
shit.
always liked this because it doesn't make sense to me from a maths point of view that there isn't other life forms. Now, there's a long stretch between there's other life forms and they visit us. Like fucking kangaroos existed in Australia, but they didn't build a fucking flying machine and fly to the UK, did they? Do you know what I mean? So
and they never got banged out by me in the end.
Yeah. If you've not seen the video last week, just watch Rio's head fall off when Ash is asking him if he'd fight an octopus.
Lowered the tone right down.
Rio's like, this isn't the show.
It is a show. We do it every week. Yeah. It'd be nice if you fucking joined us as well, by the way. Fuck me. Where is he?
Where is he now?
Well, yeah, but why does he never come and fucking visit us? Because you don't want to answer the hard questions.
The real questions.
We want to talk about UFOs.
Everyone wants to say, oh, was Vidic dead nice? What was Fergie like? Did Beckham smell good?
Yeah, all of that.
Shut up.
Doing all that bollocks. When realistically, when I put it on him and went, all right, do you think you could defeat an octopus in waist-height water? He didn't want to answer it.
No. You said lie down. Well, no, you wouldn't.
No. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want those kind of questions.
And let me know in the comments, do you, like realistically, you want to know Rio Ferdinand's opinions on aliens?
Well, not more than that is I would like to see Rio have a fight with a fucking massive kraken octopus.
Big dude and all.
Yeah, well, that's why I'd like to see it.
I reckon even on a weight-by-weight thing, Kraken's going to fuck you up, you know. So we got Mix Zone on pre-season tour. And you get told...
fuck they let you in there? I don't know.
They get told what you can and can't ask, right? And I was like, cool.
Give me a, like, how? What do you mean what you can and can't? So what can't you ask?
I don't know if we can say. But because obviously we can't ask it, so therefore...
Is it football-related things? Transfer-related? They don't ask him about a fucking kraken. Fighting a kraken octopus.
So maybe after a couple of sherbets one night, I decided to ask Twitter, who's bigger? Take That or Robbie Williams?
Yeah.
And I thought, I'd love to ask Eric Ten Hag. Or one of the, like Bruno. But then for them to go, and actually genuinely like give me a full answer.
It's a really difficult question to answer.
I don't think it is. And I think people would really respond to that. I think Robbie Williams shits all over Take That, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Take That a big, man. Yeah, I probably would agree with you, but
wouldn't it be great to get like Bruno Fernandes, like, well, you know, the back catalogue?
I don't know, you say that and I say that. I don't know about everyone else. I don't think we're the normal two guys. Our conversations are very bizarre.
Know football, interview and mixed zone questions are shit. You must have had some absolute snowfest questions.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying some people pulling them and going, shit question. Like, I'm expecting a lot from Postecoglou this season.
You reckon?
Yeah, loads from him. He's going to fill up this, what we can talk about.
Nice.
I can't do the accent, wish I could, but he's just going to go, shit question, mate, next. He didn't give a fuck. He's come in, he doesn't give a fuck. Tell you that now. He's big, he's bolshy. I'd love him to come and talk here.
Well, you get a fan out of me if he does that. Because I think we need a lot more of that. I hate that I can hear a question and I know what that other person's going to say in response.
But you're saying that, but you've never been in the position. You've never been in that position. Like, I've just been cancelled, basically, because I've just said UFOs are real. And that's not what I said. That's how it works.
It is, that's true.
I said UFOs are real. No, I didn't.
But you can still have honest conversations. I'm not asking you to come out and slag the manager off. I'm not asking you to come out and slag your teammates off.
There's no answer that you can give apart from that bollock shit one that we know they're going to give.
Because the questions are shit. Hence why, let's go and ask them some other shit.
Okay, well, what did you ask then? You didn't ask him though, did you?
No.
No, so you asked him a shit one?
Yeah.
Oh, how was pre-season?
No,
how do you think the game went, Eric?
I tried to ask, what did I ask Bruno? I said we're going to see a little bit of what we're going to see in terms of Bruno being a leader. Like, what are you bringing as a captain?
So basically said, didn't look nothing like that last year, so are you going to fucking improve on that shit?
Yeah, you word it differently.
Yeah. And he went,
Can't remember what he said.
That's a fucking brilliant answer then, wasn't it?
Is there a waste of time?
Did you just snore off? Just fucking walk off? Fuck off, and then I listened to some UFO shit.
There was one of the press conferences that we was in, and 3 people asked Ten Hag if he was enjoying San Diego.
Oh. Fuck off. That's where Postecoglou's going to tell you to fuck right off out of his press conference. I think we would like Spurs a lot more if he was like...
Yeah, because they're just a bit of a wet flannel, aren't they? Maybe he makes them not a wet flannel.
We haven't spoke. Who speaks about them anymore? Because what do you say?
They say they lost Harry Kane, they're fucked.
But even if they're not... What they
Look at Harry Kane going for the biggest tapping of his first trophy in his career and fucking not getting it.
Yeah, listen, that was... Even he, I think he's probably chuckling about that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it must be. Because it was Harry Kane to win his first trophy or some bollocks, whatever it was, team trophy, and they didn't. Like, even he's got
a league title in the fucking bag, hasn't he? That's pending. That's so pending.
Saudi Arabia are reportedly planning to reward the winner of their Saudi Pro League with qualification to the UEFA Champions League. Explain that.
They're not part of UEFA. How does that work?
Explain it. They plan to
Clearly
propose
money talks.
a wild card entry to UEFA that would allow the Saudi champions to participate in the Champions League.
People have said that. Do you think Saudi are going to qualify for the Champions League? You're like, how? They're not a member of UEFA. And they're like, well, Israel are. And you're like, okay, without getting into geopolitics, there's a reason for that. Now, this is mental.
I don't think they give a fuck.
No, I think UEFA go, well, there'd be a big entry fee. And they go, no problem. And they go, no problem then.
There's your spot.
Fucking hell, that's so on, isn't it? That is so on.
That is nuts, mate, if that happens.
Yeah, so if they get a Champions League spot, why would you stay in Europe? Because now that top flight is going to fill up with talent. You've got the European competition, so you're still playing elite level competition on a weekly basis.
As a player, why would you stay in Europe, me?
Yeah.
Don't know. It's going to get real political around here real soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't wait for it. I'm here for it. People are going to be losing their fucking melons about that.
About Saudi joining the Champions League.
Melons will be off left, right, and centre. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to see it. I'm here for it all day.
I've felt for a while that there was a desire for people to have some sort of a world knockout competition. And the way Europe was, let's be honest, in the 50s, the European Cup was such a good idea. And obviously it expanded into the Champions League and it was great. It's been great, right? It is the pinnacle of football. It's bigger than a World Cup and it's bigger than anything domestic. Mm-hmm. I think you would agree?
Yeah, no, go on, carry on. I just want to know.
It's the pinnacle of football, right? And I thought, I'd love to see Boca Juniors versus fucking Real Madrid.
I wouldn't.
If it was competitive.
Yeah, possibly, but I'm trying to think of a team that I could give a fuck about enough to see them play in the Champions League. A couple of them big boys in South America, maybe.
But that's because those football economies have been rinsed while Europe gets stronger.
But who else is good? Grand Passat?
Yeah, no,
Who's getting in?
There's not. But wouldn't it be amazing for the world?
It would.
If you had like...
Now all of a sudden Steve's the guy that wants things amazing for the world and he's all peace and love.
No, it's not necessarily about that. It's like, I love stuff that's different and I love going and experiencing mad shit. It would be amazing for football if there was a team in fucking Senegal that could put it on Real Madrid. It would be,
yeah,
right?
But there isn't.
No, there isn't, because all of the wealth is in Europe. And it's concentrated in Europe. All those Brazilian teams, like, you're 18, 19, you're good at football. You're in fucking Portugal playing for Benfica. You're not playing for Palmeiras or Santos or something like that. You get got, and that's you.
Because you scout them.
Yeah.
You scout them
and then it's half a Dortmund, right? But I genuinely would love it if it was competitive enough where any of those teams could put on any of the
it's
Premier League
unrealistic,
teams.
isn't it? It's not going to happen.
But if there's a world competition, because look, it just needs
not
money.
gonna happen.
It just needs money. And Saudi are going to put that money in.
Yeah,
Saudi are going to
so
start
then-
buying fucking kids from Brazil for hundreds of millions, and then that league gets strong. That's what you want. That's what you want. You don't want it to just be all concentrated in Europe. It's boring.
It's not. That's the end. I'm going home now.
All right,
We've
fine.
done it. First show in the can.
Can we have a name, please?
I'd say, just give us a name, honestly, and we'll name it.
More cuts than this than the average fucking trim at the barbers, so...
Give us a name and
Censored.
we'll name it. And tell us what you want us to talk about, because we ain't got a fucking idea. Political. I think we should do one political one.
Steve Nash get political.
Yes, the Nash get political.
/ cancelled.
Already happened, mate. Today. If the people behind the camera don't save us, today, we're cancelled for next week.
Well, I'll be all right, but you won't be on Match of the Day.
Cool. Brilliant, thanks. That pays the bills as well.
See you next week.